growing up as a little girl, my dad would work the pancake breakfasts at our parish, and I was just always so proud of him when he was back there flipping those pancakes.
Pat Cressy credits her parents for showing her that a life of giving is a life well lived.
They were always there when a neighbor needed something. They were there. They were always supportive at the school. So I had great role modeling. And when you think of the people you admire, I admire community service in other people. I want to emulate that.
She just has a real passion. If she sees a need in a group of people or an organization and sees that they need her help and sees a way that she can be effective, she just picks up that mantle and becomes not just an advocate, but a champion. You know, I think the most important thing I've learned from her is looking for the good in others. She is a true optimist. She celebrates other people's strengths. And we grew up in a very positive environment.
Pat is truly generous in every sense of the word.
When Rose Meisner thinks of Pat, the word radiance comes to mind.
They say some people light up a room when they enter. That's definitely Pat Cressy. And what was interesting to me is the only other person where that would have been my top word would have been Chuck Romer. And when I think about their collaboration for decades around the leadership program that Pat just brought to great heights, I think it's fitting that that word radiance describes them both.
When she's passionate about something, you better get out of the way because it's just going to happen.
In the mid-'80s, after running a capital campaign for the Montessori school and volunteering at various nonprofits, Pat was asked to be the first executive director of Leadership South Bend, Mishawaka, a program that builds community members into servant leaders. Pat's commitment to leadership was so strong that she donated her salary back to the program and volunteered for another 8 years to help continue to strengthen it. While there, she developed the Youth Leadership Program.
Pat has a unique ability of being able to see the gifts and talents in somebody that they might not see in themselves, and then enabling them and encouraging them to step up and to do the things that they're good at doing. And she is a real promoter in doing that, in empowering people.
Did she do that for you?
Absolutely. Because when I came on board doing the Youth Leadership Program, she said, Pam, we can do this. I go, Pat, I have no idea about leadership. And high school kids, I'm scared to death. And we did it. It just happened, and here we are 26 years later.
When I left the leadership program, I, of course, wanted to stay involved in the community. And so all those years of looking at the issues of the community, it's like a big bowl of pasta. It's hard to figure out where health issues stop and housing starts, where education, they're all interconnected. So in my mind, I figured it would be the mother. If you could help the mother be strong and raise her family, we would all be a better community.
I think it's so fitting that the YWCA is recognizing Pat Cressy. One of the things that really stands out about Pat is for decades she has really modeled what it means to balance career and family and community service. She's a wonder in that regard, so I look to her as a role model on a lot of different levels, and her concern about children and families, her own children and families and everybody else's, is just shines about Pat.
I love them.
That's great with the little ones. You can tell when she engages with them that she's trained as a Montessori teacher, because she'll get down on their level and really speak to them where they're at. And her face just lights up.
Pat's support of the YWCA's program for the smallest victims of domestic violence is helping to ensure children who have witnessed violence in their homes get the counseling and help they need to heal from the trauma and break the cycle of violence.
Pat's commitment and involvement with our children here is really just planting seeds for the future. That's what she's doing with us here. And what we'll see in 10 or 20, 30 years from now is that we have children who are living in safe, stable relationships, and then are able to provide that for their children and the generation beyond that.
There's a wonderful saying that we by planting shade trees that we will never sit under, we're making our community better. You have to do those works now, even though you may not see the fruit of it, but future generations will. You just have to believe and keep on keeping on.